Here's a question for you. How how heavy do you rate yourself? How much do you rate yourself? You know? How much do you rate what you got going on? You know, let's say how much do you rate yourself in the realm of the bedroom? How good you got it? Hmm? How good's your tings, you know? How good do you reckon you are that you could just take it away and it'd be a big fucking deal? How good are you? How good are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, where you at? You're 7, an 8, a 9. Me? I don't know. I think it's subjective. And who knows? You know, some people might rate me low. Some people might rate me high. Who knows? Who knows how? Who knows how good my goodies are that I could, you know, take it away from someone to, you know, make political gains. But Alyssa Milano, I don't really know who she is, nor do I really care. Has called for a sex strike to protest strict abortion laws, and many people are confused. And this is BuzzFeed News. Not often a place where I look for anything, but I've heard about this, so I just picked out, you know, I picked out an article to go with, because I already got my fucking opinions anyway. But you know, this, it's like, well, I've never done BuzzFeed before. Let's give that a whirl, shall we? Anyway, so former Charmed star Alyssa Milano. Oh, she was in Charmed, that great show that we all miss. Set off a Twitter firestorm when she tweeted a call for a sex strike on Friday, asking women to stop having sex until we get bodily autonomy back. Just days before, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a controversial bill that would ban abortions in cases where a fetal heartbeat can be detected. And in Alabama, politicians feuded over a last-minute change to the bill that suddenly stripped exceptions for rape and incest from a near-total ban on abortion in the state. Our reproductive rights are being erased, Milano tweeted. Until women have legal control over our own bodies, we just cannot risk pregnancy. Okay. Now, the funny thing about all this is, all I've seen is a hell of a lot of trolling. There's a lot of young conservative types, I suppose, and 4chan as well, who have just gone, all right, good. This is kind of what we wanted anyway. Which is just fucking, it's hilarious. It's like going, well, yeah, the whole point was, you know, for you to take more responsibility and not be fucking around and getting pregnant, and this is what we wanted, so thanks. That's kind of been the vibe going. Yeah, the heavens are ripped open outside. It's raining. That's kind of the way it's gone. So it's like, we cannot risk getting pregnant. It's like, well, that's what condoms are for, and that's why, like, you know, you only shoot the club off of the one you love. You know, that's why we whip it out and drain that juice somewhere else. I thought this was all standard. I thought this was like, you know, you're saying, you know, we're going to stop having sex so we can't risk getting pregnant. It's like, all right, well, you know, yeah, that's kind of what people, well, yeah, it's just taking responsibility and all that. So yeah, it's blown up in their faces. And the fact is that, you know, I'm gonna have to put it out there that, yeah, you could go on your little sex strike. That's fine. You could, but you've probably, you know, you've probably got that friend who's a bit shy, who you sort of, you know how girls have that friend that they just keep around to make them feel better about themselves. You know, not necessarily like they're not as good looking or whatever, but they're not quite them, you know. I mean, if you're some, you know, loud gobby bitch, you know, and Because men don't do that. If there's a loud gobby bloke, they just have blokes around, whatever. But you know, she's just loud and shit. And you have got that girl next to you that sort of just takes all your bull, you know, just puts up with all your crap. You know, that's well, if you're that loud gobby girl and you revoke the sex pass, everyone's just going to plow into your friend, and she will reciprocate. That's usually the way it goes. And also, I hate breaks again. This doesn't work because men can pay for sex. It's usually women who are, you know, less likely to pay for sex. And there's also less male prostitutes as well that aren't homosexual. So, you know, you've got that against you as well. Well, men will just go, all right, well, I'll just go fuck a prostitute until you're done being silly, I suppose. There is that issue there as well. Men do not discriminate against that kind of thing, usually. So you've got a little issue there with that. And, you know, in fact, these are two weird things. Like, one, it is strange that prostitution is illegal because it is your body, and therefore you should be able to do what you want with it. And if you want to like sleep with people for money, well, then that's up to you. And two, it is strange that it would be legal or illegal for abortion because it is your body. But then the difference between prostitution and abortion, I suppose, is the ending of a life. And that's where it gets really controversial. It's messy. I just think the whole thing's messy. That's why I don't really want to get involved in it. Like, I do think, what I will say is, I think we live in a very mixed up, upside down world where there are people who will just get abortions willy-nilly. Like, that's the first thing to go to getting an abortion. And in a way, you know, it does kind of take the responsibility away from, you know, you should be thinking about these sort of things beforehand. And the celebration of abortion is kind of weird because I know in other cultures where they have abortions, like in Japan's a good example. You know, abortion is fine. You know, it's legal, but it's not like something that you sort of run around, you know, with a fucking badge of honor and you're saying, "Oh, I got my abortion." You know, don't get Lena Dunham going, "Oh, I just wish I'd had an abortion." It's like such a fucking, you know, that's topsy-turvy land. It's like it's a, you know, it's something that it's a traumatic thing. Because the thing was so weird about it. So you get people that have abortions willy-nilly, and then you get motherfuckers who literally just pop out kids without no thought about the repercussions of it all. Shit parents. It's shit parents. It's also, you know, it's also affecting climate change, overpopulation, and they pop them out so they can get a house, you know, get your house, get your child benefits. All this goes on. So you got people, one bunch of people who just the go-to thing is, "Oh, I'll just kill the motherfucker." And then you got these other motherfuckers who just like, who again are also just, you know, not strapping up before they have sex, and they're just pushing out babies like no one's fucking business and getting loads of benefits. So there's this whole, you know, this whole thing going on. That's something that always makes you go, yeah. So you got that. So you got. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. What am I trying to think of? But then, you know, the strange thing is, get people who get abortions, and then I know of people who have had miscarriages, like, you know, and the baby's been like, you know, 1 month, 2 months, and I know someone who had a tattoo of their dead baby's name who died, you know, it died in the womb, like it was like 2-3 months. And I've heard of people, you know, actually having sort of, you know, it's sort of mourn the anniversary of their unborn baby's death. My mum lost 2 kids after me. And I remember when I was a kid being psychoanalyzed because they thought that was a traumatic experience for me. Turns out I was dyslexic. That's what was wrong with me. No shit. That's actually what happened before they discovered I was dyslexic. They thought I was carrying around the trauma of losing 2 siblings I'd never met. But, you know, that's just the thing that came to my mind. It's like, well, you know, if you got one bunch of people saying a baby, you know, isn't sentient until it's like however months old it is, it's not, you know, it's not a human being. And then you got other ones who literally mourn the death of the same thing. You know, one kills it and the other one mourns its death, like really morosely mourns its death. This shit happens. So you've got to ask yourself, like, well, what is right and what is wrong, really? It's tricky, man. You know, I mean, it's weird. You might get like fucking vegans who, you know, will be crying in the streets over the spilt blood of tomorrow's dinner, and yet are championing the execution of unborn children. I'm not saying whether I'm pro or against. I'm just saying I find it fascinating that all these different opinions are sort of floating around the debate, as if one thing is concretely right and one thing is concretely wrong. I don't think it's such a grey, choppy area. You know, it's more divisive and mind-fucking than the Israel-Palestine conflict, and that's been going on for a very long time. Whereas abortion, you know, apart from old school abortions, which I don't know what's that, you know, fucking what they do back in the day, like attach you to a plow or something. I don't know. But also, you know, again, there's always got to be a movement about something, isn't there? You know, I'm gonna going back to what this is all about. You know, you're not getting up in this pussy because I'm taking it away from you. Like, okay, well, I'll just have sex with someone else, I suppose. Milano, anyway, who has been an active #MeToo advocate, told the Associated Press on Saturday that the call for a strike reminds people that we have control over our own bodies and how to use them. She cited historical instances where women withheld sex as acts of protest, including Iroquois women in the 1600s to stop unregulated warfare, and the sex strikes by Liberian women in 2003 that called for an end to a long-running civil war. So Liberian women had a sex strike. But from what I know about the Liberian Civil War, okay, all kinds of nasty shit went on then, so I'm not sure how that would have worked. Milano's call for a sex strike stirred up criticism from people who said the call to action. Sorry to be yawning at my own fucking. I'm supposed to be entertaining here. I'm yawning at you. What is wrong with me? Probably because I'm reading this fucking crap. Call to action is misguided. This strike may mean well and contain cheap feel-good reactions, said one person, but it pushes a sexist narrative that sex is something we give to men as a form of currency. That is not empowering at all. Something we give to men as a form of currency. Well, it depends how you look at it, I suppose. Well, it's supposed to be mutually pleasurable. Jesus Christ. Depends on how long you've been in a relationship for, though. Like, I mean, most long-term relationships I've been in, I think after about 6 months, I was just not interested in having sex with them anymore. That caused all sort of problems, because, like, well, I still love you, but God, you disgust me. You know, it's just something that happens to me. I just get, I was like, I'd rather have sex with this boot than have sex with you, to be honest with you. Don't know why. Nothing wrong with you. Everything was fine in the beginning, but now I'm just like, you know. So there's, you know, it depends on what sort of relationship you're in, because a hell of a lot of relationships, the sex life dies down. after not too long sometimes. So, you know, you might not be having sex at all. It's like, oh, so you're not gonna fuck me, but now there's a reason you're not gonna fuck me. What, for political gains? But we're not gonna fuck anyway. So I don't. Right. What do you want? Do they think there's gonna be this much rampant, like? Do they actually think does it work? There's so many men will not be getting none. that they'll fucking storm the office. Like, you must change this abortion law. I haven't had any boopsies for months. I always, in my mind, and from what I've known from people, I always thought it was like men were way more up for abortions than women. You know, like most dudes I know who've got girls pregnant, the first thing they've said to them is like, alright, so get an abortion, yeah. That's pretty much, yeah. I had a friend who you know, got a girl pregnant and then said, oh yeah, she's definitely getting rid of it. And then a few days later she just put up the fucking you know, what's that word? What's, you know, the sonar picture of I can't believe I've forgotten what it's called. What's it called? You know, when they take the image of the baby inside them. Was it sonar? Jeez, I can't remember what that's called. Probably because I never had one. But you know, that image, you know, that picture of the baby in the womb, she put that up as a fucking Facebook profile picture. I was like, oh, well, I think this some sort of really fucked up way of announcing an abortion. Anyway, but that's always, I've always seen it as like men wanting abortions more than women in my mind, as far as I know, in my experience. Another person said, as a single ace woman, an ace woman, not just any woman, a fucking ace. She's an ace. You get me? Ace woman, this is what I do every day anyway. Got any suggestions for things I can do that might actually be helpful? Yeah, innit? What if you're single? Also, Milano's message was supported and seemingly co-opted by anti-abortion advocates. One person said, I'm praying your sex strike catches on. Think of all the abortions that will be avoided. Touche, madam. Or man, or whoever that was. Pro-life here said another wholeheartedly in support of this. Milano said people have to determine for themselves how long the sex strike should last. She hasn't decided yet how long she will personally avoid sex. I mean, I don't know, she told the Associated Press. I sent a tweet last night, and I haven't really thought much past that this morning. Brilliant. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that a wonderful call to arms? And you haven't thought any of it through. It's almost as if you just off the whim just went, yeah, I'll just write that. That'll show them. That'll show the patriarchy and the man and whoever the fuck is oppressing me. BuzzFeed News has contact representative for Milano for comments. Yes. That just sums it up, doesn't it? How like this can gain so much traction, and it's just some dumbass who is slightly famous just decided to send a tweet out, and everyone sort of jumps on it, including myself right now. But I thought it was a good jump point to talk about how bored I am of all this crap, I suppose. Well, well done for sending out your tweet and not really thinking it through and causing a media storm everyone will forget about. Good for you. Good for you. I guess no one really knows what the fuck you're up to now, because Charm's been... When the hell did Charmed end? I have no idea. I don't watch crap like that. God knows. Anyway, Alyssa Milano, well done for keeping yourself slightly relevant for 2.5 minutes.